Hello, sir.
How you doing?
Good, good. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you, man. I feel like I'm on a radio show. You're all everything.
I know this Zoom thing is a little bit I'm still kind of still trying to figure this whole thing out and the whole like posting in the videos and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a
Looks
little
good
new
though.
to me. What
Where
was
am I?
that?
Where am I on? Like, do you have a camera? Like, because I know your laptop's in front of you. So,
Yeah, no, I've got another camera set up over here. I've got my Sony. Like I kind of mess around with photography and videography for the last couple of years, but this is the first time I'm actually doing anything semi-productive with it. And this, I tell you what, man, it has been, I thought it would be really easy to just set up this camera and like integrate it. And I'm not a techie person like at all. And it's been a really pretty steep learning curve.
oh, I like it because usually I got people in their basements or anything. And
Yep.
even I'm not as fancy as you, and I'm on calls all day. So, but it's cool, man. It's cool, man. So, yeah, man. Tell me what's going on. What are we here for? What are we looking at? Kind of you're looking at products. Tell me
Yeah.
everything going on.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, where I'm at, a little bit, I got first license in life insurance like 6 years ago, and I worked for captive agency where, I mean, we were working 12, 15-hour days in the hotel room 7 days a week, and like did not last long doing that. There was not a chance in hell I was doing that lifestyle. Um, so I quit doing that for a while. I went back. I've got a background in fabrication machining. Just I grew up doing that. My dad owned a shop. I've been pretty entrepreneurial in a lot of different things. Um, and then my father passed away a few years ago. So that's kind of, like I knew that life insurance was important, but until something like that kind of happens and you're like, oh no, this is, it's obviously really important. And then it was like, oh, this is going to be a lot easier for me to like be able to, sell. And then with COVID, I knew that just kind of regardless of the economy and market and stuff like that, there was going to be a lot of opportunities opening up. I ended up losing my job. I actually went back to try to start my fabrication, like do my own fabrication machine shop. And then wildfires came. I'm in Oregon. We've been hit really hard. So that threw another wrench in the system. And then I was kind of like, all right, I want to totally reevaluate things. Just kind of recognize that like building an agency has some inherently really awesome potential as far as like pretty inexpensive to get into. You're selling digital products, you don't have employees, So I was like, all right. And especially just with the COVID and things getting digital and being able to like do that over the phone, because that was one thing I had like kind of an issue with just from the very beginning is like, when I first call people and they're like, why do you have to come to my house? Like, can't we just do it over the phone? And then, like I wasn't even doing simplified issues. So like we had to go and get it signed and do a mouth swab. And I was like, dude, this is ridiculous. This is super inefficient. So I'm kind of at the beginning now. I'm really trying to approach this as really like a business minded, trying to build an agency. Not even so much at the time being focusing on producing right now. I'm also a student. I'm getting my master's in business right now. So I'm trying to apply, like I've got a lot of business ideas that I'm trying to apply to this like insurance, this insurance industry, the agency. And like, I really believe where we've gotten as far as like with the digital age and COVID that like, there's no reason to kind of try to do it myself and reinvent the wheel. There's marketers out there, that they've proven systems in many different ways. Like the ability to sell insurance is obviously really proven. But what I am trying to do is like really just focus on building a digital agency, totally over the phone, some Zoom, but Zoom was way more of an issue. Like when I got back into it, I was like, I'm going to do it all over Zoom, hence getting this set up and having a half decent background. And then I just realized I was like, this is not, it saves a little bit of time, but it also has a lot of complications. So I'm kind of right now just trying to like go through, I've got a long list of all of the kind of ready to go marketing campaigns and the lead generation systems and the CRMs. because I don't want to waste my time trying to like reinvent that wheel. I want to find the ones that are going to fit best and just be able to kind of implement those. So I'm basically just kind of in the process of trying to see what's out there, compare, see what fits for me, see what, yeah, just see what's out there really.
Okay. Are you selling insurance as we speak, or is this something you were doing? Like, I know you were doing this call center stuff. Like what, like do you have like leads that you're working right now, or is that something you're trying to get into? Like, kind of like what's your next, where you are like right now, and then like what's your next step
Yeah.
more?
So I am kind of selling like, so I got back into this and immediately like the IMO that I'm at, I'm happy enough, compensations are good, but they just depend strictly on purchasing leads, which I think is a fine business plan. I think it can work, but from my standpoint, that's just a ton of money that's being left on the table. And I think inherently like creating a lead generation system is really going to be really just the smart move as far as building an agency and not just depending on straight up buying leads. You know, that's not a scalable system. So I have leads. I've been kind of working through the process of like, unfortunately, I had to kind of teach myself Zoom meetings through the first IMO that I was at. And I just realized that like I had no support. My uplines, they just didn't know what they were doing. They didn't really care, which is pretty, if you know, if you have experience in the industry, I mean, that's, I would, seems like a lot of uplines are like, great, I got this guy signed up, like I'm on, you know, on to the next.
Yeah.
So I started doing the Zoom thing, realized that like, no, this is not really that much easier. Through my research, I kind of got to the just the telesales thing, which is not big in my IMO, but I was like, this is what I'm looking for because I'm trying, dude, I don't want to be pushy. I want to be efficient. I'm not driving around. I want to kind of be able to embrace the like the think about it and not just be super pushy. And I believe being able to do that over the phone is going to be a lot easier. And so like I have leads that I've been working with now, but like I have this like this kind of theory, this principle that I'm trying to apply as far as like I am trying to get to a place where I do not have to trade my time for money, like one for one. So like I was doing this thing and I'm calling these leads and things are going okay. You know, it's like, okay, I mean, I'm making money, but I'm like, this is not like, I am not doing, like I am trading my time directly for money and I am not building this. So I kind of stepped away from that. And where I'm at right now is like, I want to take my time to put in for sure the lead generation systems. Like that's like step number one right now is once I can get, I'm not going to invest $2,000 a week into leads when I know that I can put in an amazing system for a fraction of that to generate leads. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And just seeing like, I plan to scale. So that's definitely what I want to do. I would like to get an agency that has its systems figured out as far as scripts and lead generations, and then really try to focus on actually, I think one area in this industry that a lot of people do is same thing with clients is they get a policy and they never talk to them again. Like I really want to invest in like a CRM system that really is building that like we can actually take care of clients because I think it's much easier to take care of existing clients to get new clients. And also kind of want to apply that same thing to agents as far as being able to take care of them and really focusing on letting them succeed. So I'm trying to kind of just start with that from the very beginning and like put the systems in place that I can grow into that. And yeah, if that makes sense. So it's a kind of a long ramble.
No, no. Well, that's what I need just because I need to know kind of where you're at, just so I can bring you to where you want to be, obviously, right? That's business and just as basic form. But you mentioned lead generating, well, lead generation, that's kind of your first thing that you want to knock down. So you kind of got the right guy for that. I'm the one who built the course at Agent Autopilot. Okay. So I've been with Facebook for 5 years now. It started with real estate. I was doing like it was an agency, just providing my services, providing leads back then. And then I got into the insurance space. I would sell my services again. And then I kept doing that. It was doing very well. And then actually met Josh through this Facebook group where he said, hey, like, I'll pay you this amount, just slow down your agency. And can you come here and teach this course? And Josh at the time was also running a big agency. I think he ran up to over 300 people at his peak. And that was his power, right? Being able to generate leads was the biggest thing, because he was able to keep everything in house for his agents,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
It was trying to pick and choose one vendor, and then it's just it comes to a point where you lose control
Yep.
over your business. Like, you can't build a business if you're gonna white label half of it, which is the lead generation.
Yep.
Almost more than half of it comes down to lead generation, right? So anyhow, so he was doing that. So we kind of came in together. He didn't want to film the course, but he had like the material, which I had too. And we kind of brought it together. And then, so we built this course, which we've been pushing now since April. Since April, that's when I DM'd you, because you just joined our group, and that was my job to start, was also promoting this course that we just had launched. So everybody in the new group. So that's why when you reached out and I said me again, that was pretty funny. Because I had just finished it, and we were trying to just get that marketed to agents. Fast forward 8 months, we've had tremendous success with people inside of it. Just because the fact that they were able to just simply remove themselves, I'm not even talking about their agents, from relying on vendors is a dream of every insurance agent, right? Those people that are 70, 75, that they're less tech savvy, it's a little bit harder for them, because they're hoping that the first ad they can just launch and leave it there for a year and hope it generates leads. But the guy who comes in here with the mindset of saying, hey, I'm investing myself, I'm here for 3 months, I'm going to learn this thing, and I'm going to jump on the coaching calls, I'm going to jump on this and actually learn the process. It turns out that they fly on their own. I don't even hear about them. 3 months later, they're just gone. And I'm like, they don't even talk to me anymore. And they're just doing their whole thing. And, they're happy. So that's what I realized too. And as far as I was in this business, I'm like, man, like, just being able to be good at lead generation puts you such at a pedestal over anybody, over everything. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm obviously passionate about the subject, so I'm biased about this whole thing. I like doing it, so that's why. But that's me. Okay, that's how I got in, and then I learned about Agent Autopilot. The business, Agent Autopilot's business, was first started off the software. Okay, the reason we built this software, and we'll get into the demo and the whole thing later, but the reason we built a software like this was because the way it was happening is people were buying leads, but they were caught up by just one human body could not do the amount they were getting in. So let's say that they're buying 80 leads, trying to text them 80 times, copy paste, and then going over to the email and emailing them 80 times, and then calling them twice each. It takes a full-time job. Like, you need a full-time person to do this, right? Besides you trying to even grow yourself as a business or grow your agency. So we built a system in place so that as soon as you get that list, whether it's a lead that you generate yourself on Facebook, or it's a list of leads that you purchase, it's being able to reach out to them not only automatically without you having to do anything, but personably, that it doesn't sound like it's a robot that's reaching out. And 3 is the quickness on how you can get to that person. Because when you buy a lead sheet, let's say that lead is a week old that you buy, right? By the time you get to that last guy, or you call that last guy, a week might pass by. So now there's 2 weeks from the moment it was generated to the moment it's being talked to. So it doesn't make sense. The guy who's put their name down is not going to remember you 2 weeks later, right? So it's able to take that list. If you don't want to generate your own leads, you just buy your leads, take that list and throw into the system. And then the system will do kind of the voicemails, the texting, the email, all of that within 5 minutes. So that you can go through that list instead of spending a week and 30 hours a week. You can contact these people within 5 minutes via email and text, and over a period of 7 days without having to do anything. So see the value of having to repeat the list and texting 4, 5, 6 times, because the lead on average takes about 5 or 6 times to contact to get a response. But physically, it's not possible unless you're hiring someone to do that. So that was the whole idea. Okay. So that's it, right? That's how it started. You grab your list, you buying leads, you throw them in the system. You just the way it works with our system is you just put a tag depending on what kind of leads they are, and then we're reaching out to them. If it's fresh, over a period of 3 weeks, text, email, and then if it's old leads, it's just a week. So it's just the way we do things.
Okay.
Um, and then the second, so that was one part of why we started this business, right? And the second part was for Josh when he was generating these leads for his agents.
Yeah.
Was so whenever we can generate a lead, there's a principle in online or digital marketing that if you can connect with a lead within a minute, you're going to close 150% more than if you wait outside of that minute.
Okay.
So he's like, well, I'm not going to go inside Facebook every time to try to see if I got a new lead. I want a system that gives me a text every time there's a new lead, and then I can actually directly call them right away as they come in. So the way it works is for any lead that you generate yourself and they click, yes, I want more info, or yes, I want to get a quote, right away you get a text who this person is, alerting you that the system will call you 30 seconds later. And then after 30 seconds, the system will call you, say, hey, John, you got a new lead. Press 1 if you want to talk to them now. So John presses 1, and then he's connecting with that person 30 seconds after they've raised their hand. So those two were like the biggest reasons why Josh built this for himself and his agency. And then he's like, man, why not just sell this to other people at scale? And so that's where we're at today. So
Cool. So just out of curiosity, because honestly, that's the exact same kind of mentality that I have as far as like, yeah, that's what I would like to get. Why did you guys decide to do your own as opposed to go find something else that was already out there? Like, did you not feel like there was anything kind of ready to go that fit your needs, or just?
No, because what we were doing before is we were using all kinds of platforms together. I'm sure you've heard of the big softwares, Zapier, Active Campaign, Phone Burner. So what would happen is we would have subscriptions on all of them. And then we're like, there's got to be a way to have a system that kind of groups all these small systems in one. So we said, we got to find something that can do that, and then use a system that can combine Zapier, Active Campaign for email, texting, phone burner. So all these systems we were paying $700-800 for a month, we try to have a system that would connect all these things together. So that's the whole idea. Is one, it's cheaper, but two, it's just way more simple to have everything in one place. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the process that I'm going through right now. And you're only the second person I've talked to in person. The other one was just strictly lead generation. And I guess this is really what I am trying to figure out is like, what is the difference between what everybody offers? Because like there are some and I'm pretty novice coming into this stuff. I mean, I know a bit about entrepreneurship, and I have a pretty decent idea as far as like the strategies and stuff like that. But as far as specific companies that offer this type of stuff, like I'm very much at the beginning of this, and it's like I've come across some. It just seems like there's quite a range of like, we're just do really organic leads to there have been some where it's like we will. I mean, and they're not cheap by any stretch, but it's like dialers, landing page, web page, blog posts, video editing, all of these other things. And so it's kind of like, I guess where I'm the process that I'm at right now is, okay, what's kind of the best like specific fit? Because some of these seem way too much. Some of them I don't feel like are going to really specifically provide enough for what I'm looking for, because I would like to have it just eventually get to a point where it is fully just automated. I want to take myself out of the system. That's what I think a good business should look like, is be able, I don't need to be around. And I've looked and I'm looking at like some of your pricing sheets and stuff like that, as far as just the virtual training and so it looks like, and maybe I'm jumping ahead a little bit too much, but with all your different kind of add-ons, do you pay for these individually, because you have a lot of interesting things as far as the power dialer and the landing pages. Are these monthly prices, or like do you have to add all of them together? Or is there like a big bundle where it's like, no, we'll get everything, you get everything? I know that was a terribly, terribly worded question.
No, I get what you're trying to say though. No, so it's one price per month. The price that you see right in front of you is $5.99 and $8.99. Is that the one you're seeing?
Yep.
Okay. So at first, I'm not sure if you had a look before at our pricing way before, because I know you've been in our kind of ecosystem a little bit before. But what happened is we would offer just the software, which would include everything, right? The dialer, the pipeline, the landing page, it would include everything. And we priced it at $300 a month. Okay. That was the software. And then what happened is, we realized we're like, whoa, a lot of people are coming into our software and thinking that the software is just going to magically pop leads into their system and it's going to magically do everything. And it's just the 43 leads that they bought over the past 3 months is going to magically turn half of them in appointment. Okay. So that's why we removed that. Okay. And I'm not supposed to say it because the bosses are telling me, hey, stop mentioning it. Right. But the reason we removed that is because people weren't taking advantage of it because there was no leads coming into it. So we told ourselves, with our partnerships in the industry, we said, okay, well, why don't we offer leads? What IMO are you with, by the way?
Family First Life.
Okay, so these instant internet leads that you see at $11 at Family First Life?
Yeah.
So we've learned that Family First Life is in the lead business as well.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. There's a reason I'm not buying them right now. It's like, okay, there's a reason I want to do what they're doing and not be the one buying. I would love to be the one providing.
So we are, thank God, in the place of providing, but we have chosen to not make a markup on these leads that we have been able to catch a hand on secretly under the door. So we told ourselves, okay, well, hold on. So there's agents paying these leads. They're obviously offering them because people are paying for them at $11. Why not offer? And we understand that they're not the highest quality leads. I mean, we're never going to advertise. That's why we sell a course that will teach you how to do that. But we told ourselves, people are going to buy them at $11. Why don't we offer them at retail price, 75 to 100 a week, and have a system like Agent Autopilot, have them see the power of Agent Autopilot of following up with them with our pre-written follow-up sequence and email sequence, without agents having to bust their balls having to go through that, right? So we said, okay, well, let's drop these leads into their account in real time. So as soon as they're being generated, they're going in real time. The one at FFL are week or 2 week old. And we know that for a fact because we tried them.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we said, if let's say that they're 4% conversion rate, right? You wouldn't want to call these leads 3 times each and text them all through for 2 weeks and only hope for, let's say, a 3%, 4%, 5%. Let a system do it for you and still grab that 4% while you do other things, right?
Yep.
So that's why there are offers at that. I don't know if that answered your question in a way. I know I went kind of way beyond, but
it was a really, really, I don't even know specifically what my question was. But no, it is. I mean, it's just good to kind of understand where you're coming from. Yeah. So I guess, okay, so here's a question for you then. Like what makes you guys different from what else is out there?
I would say first the leads, being able to offer the leads that come with the package. We're not just giving you a software, we're giving you a software that integrates with the leads. So you don't even see the leads. The leads are dropped in automatically into your account. So as soon as the Google banner ad, someone clicks, I want more information or, whatever, and it goes into your account directly. And then it prompts a call connect within 30 seconds.
Okay.
So just that feature increases the quality of the lead because you're not waiting 2 weeks before calling them. It's a live thing. Okay. So there's a direct API integration with the Google banner lead that we create that goes directly into your account. So I think that's, any other question? You look like you have a question.
Yeah. And I don't want to interrupt, but so with those leads, so is this like something, those leads that you were just talking about, if I go with this system, like will that be my system, or is that essentially just leads that I'm getting from you guys that go into my CRM?
That would be it.
Okay.
For the internet leads, instant internet leads that we're
Okay.
dropping, that would be from us into your account.
Okay, so this is not so this is part of this, just to clarify, is not like, this isn't necessarily setting up my own campaign. This is getting quality, inexpensive leads from you dropped into the CRM.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. The
Okay.
Facebook ads course, that's teaching you how to do it.
What was that? Could you repeat that?
Yeah, so we offer if you go to you have your computer?
I do. Yep.
All right, so if you go agentautopilot.com slash ads program, search that up. Agentautopilot.com slash ads program.
Okay.
So what we do is, so this is two offers. First offer is you get the $5.99 Agent Autopilot with the leads. Okay. The number two offer, which is did you get to the page successfully?
Yeah, here, actually, I'm going to share screen if you don't mind, and then just make sure that I'm at the right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
That's it right there.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's our Facebook ads course, which you're going to see it's $1,500. But what we do is we give you 2 months of free access to Agent Autopilot, the $5.99 plan, which comes with the leads, the free leads.
Okay.
So you get essentially 2 months of the $5.99, which comes with the free leads, and then you also get the course teaching you how to generate your own Facebook leads at pretty much the remainder, right? And you get that for life. So let's say that $5.99 times 2 is $1,200. There's no setup fee when you do buy this. So the course comes down to $300 if you put it in the terms like that.
Okay. So just, I want to make sure that I'm understanding this. So it's $5.99 a month, and that will get me what, 75 to 100 telesales leads a week.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that will also include the Facebook training.
No. So this is there's like offer A and then offer B. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
And sorry, I might be saying this wrong. So the first offer A is just Agent Autopilot, the $5.99,
okay,
which comes with the 75 to 100 free leads and the whole system, right? The dialer, the landing pages, all that. So that's offer A. You just get that. There's $5.99 plus a $99 setup fee.
Okay.
For that. Okay. So yeah, offer A, you get the system, and then that's already pre-built, and you get the free leads that come dropped into your account. Okay. And then this offer B is going through our course. So this is what you're seeing right now. It's the Facebook ads course, which is $1,500, but gives you 2 free months of Agent Autopilot, of offer A.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. I gotcha. Okay. And then after those 2 months, though, there's no more ads from you guys. It's all organically, or that's what the course, I would imagine, is supposed to do, is give you the tools to generate your own leads through Facebook.
Exactly. So our goal really is that everything becomes in-house for you. After 2 months, it's up to you whether you want to continue the Google banner leads that come into your account. Some people are like, hey, I got so many leads with Facebook, I'm happy with this, I'm going to drop back down to our $2.99. We do offer that as like a downsell kind of offer, just because we're not going to shove Google banner leads down your throat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do, is offer you the system, $5.99. You get leads into your system while you're learning it. You're pretty much generating, hopefully, an ROI off those leads while you're learning the system, or learning how to generate new leads on Facebook. So,
okay. Okay, that makes sense. So can you touch on at all on, like, and I don't, obviously I'm not trying to get you to like just give the secrets away or the courses or anything like that away, but like, as far as with the Facebook option, what kind of stuff do you learn through that?
Yeah. So for that, pretty much there's two ways to generate leads via Facebook. Okay. Option A is you generate leads with a simple lead form, is what we call it on Facebook, where you just simply grab their information and then we bring it over to Agent Autopilot and you follow up with them from there. Okay.
Okay.
Option B, and those leads are going to be high quality, but not the highest quality because you're not filtering them.
Yeah,
right?
not super targeted.
I would say super targeted, but you're just not putting them through a filtering process. And what I mean by that is that you're not going to be asking them qualifying questions
Okay.
on a form on Facebook. So, you put your own messaging on there. It's going to be mentioning exactly what you're selling, everything. But then you don't have the ability to then qualify them after you have their information. Option B is using we have a pre-built funnel that we use for you pretty much use this for anything. Actually, if you allow me to share, I can even show you. I'll show you some of the secret sauce on this one.
Perfect. Okay, let me see. Share screen options. I don't know. I need to change this so it automatically does it. Okay, you should be good.
Yeah, I got it. Perfect. All right, so this is the overview. I'm looking at you here. I'm just on my monitor. You'll get my ugly side profile.
Yeah, the Zoom thing. It's a totally new way of communicating.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So if I go to sites, this is a pre-built funnel we took from a guy that was doing very, very high numbers. I think multi seven figures from a funnel. This is someone Josh knew from the industry through kind of like mastermind events that he went through. Yeah, we call it the final expense quiz funnel. People run ads to this. It's kind of, you throw someone to a quiz. People don't like surveys, they like quiz. Okay. It's that thing in the insurance or anything. And we've took courses simply on the psychology behind quiz. Sorry, I'm breaking up there. But yeah, so you run something to a quiz like this. Okay, well, this is custom coded. We had coders come in here and do it for us. Which you do have access. This comes into your account, whether you buy the course or not. So, you throw someone to a landing page like this, what state, what's their age. So the goal really here is you're qualifying them, right? Yeah. If they're going to answer questions, that means they're more than interested in just putting down their information. So, I want 11,000. I'm not a tobacco smoker. My gender is female, and it's not, but and then they would put their information down and then they hit submit. And so this is where the magic happens.
Yep.
Right. I like to tell this to man, I'm talking all day, so sometimes it's hard towards the end of the day.
Totally understand, man.
Yeah, so I like to compare this kind of model with like mailers, because a lot of people like to say, oh, mailers are the highest quality. I like to compare this with mailers just because mailers is the same thing. Like, people answer qualifying questions. They're actually going to take the time to grab a pen and fill it out and send it out. But again, there's 3 weeks to even a month and a half, a delay from the moment they do that. So one, they have 10 times the chance to forget.
Yep.
They have 10 times the chances to go on Google and get their problem solved, and get hit by multiple other ads by then, because they've shown interest and the algorithm will figure out that they have found the interest in doing that. So like this, as soon as I hit submit, your phone's getting a text with exactly all the information that were filled out. Okay. You're getting a text with Gene Smith, phone is this, email is this, they're a female requesting 25,000, they're not a tobacco smoker. So you're grabbing the phone, okay, and you're at this point, you're pretty much just confirming what the person put and telling them that you're ready to move the papers forward, because they're already sold 90%.
Yeah.
Right? So you're going to be spending $60, $70 a lead, but let me tell you, you're going to close 1 out of 2 on someone like this. Okay.
So when you just said that $60 or $70 a lead, are you referring to this specifically? Like, okay.
Yeah.
And is that just how do you come up with that number?
Just guys that have been running it multiple, I probably had over 20 guys run it. So I was able to see the average. Some guys were doing $80, some guys $50. So I kind of threw an average based on what I saw.
And that number, I guess, more specifically, so is that the money that you're throwing at like Google AdWords to get this?
No, so this is specifically, well, you can run Google ads to this, but we don't offer a course on how to do this. This is our course. So Facebook ads, you're running a Facebook ad, you throw someone to a page like this, and then they fill out the information, right? So the way the Facebook works is
Okay.
you have like a daily budget that you
Yep.
set for yourself. I don't know if you're familiar a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So these are from, okay, I just wanted to kind of understand the mechanism a little bit, but these are from Facebook ads that we get to this page.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, you can do it from any
Yep.
platform. We've just tested it with Facebook because that's what we taught agents to do. Yeah, that's our goal for every agent that go through our course, is that they can successfully have something like this where they can have $50, $60 leads that are coming in and they can close 30, 40%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Consistently.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Compared to just mailers, which are still, from what I've seen, I mean, those are kind of still like the gold standard if you can get the A, which just in my mind, it's like, it's only a matter of time before that's obsolete. You know, people, our generation, I don't know, man, I look at my mail once every month and a half. Like, I'm not like, if it's important, you've got my phone number and you've got my email. So yeah, I feel like, I mean, even at a price like that, I mean, you're gonna have to pay money for something. But if they're qualifying themselves.
Yeah, and it's quick, right? When people fill out this kind of stuff, they're expecting something to be provided right away.
Yeah.
At least for our generation, or even up till 70, when they're putting this effort to fill something out like this, they're gonna want something to get back quickly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
For sure. Okay, so just going back on a little bit, I just wanted to kind of see what the other options were as well, looking at what this page is. So the Agent Autopilot CRM, that's $5.99, and that comes with the 70 to 100 weekly ads. Okay. And then there's the Leads for Life. Is that the
that's it. It's the same thing. Yeah. It's just the marketing words that we're using. It's the same thing. Yeah.
okay. Okay. And then what about, like, this was something a little bit interesting, this virtual assistants, you guys offer those as well?
Yeah. So every time you send us, so there's two ways. When you're uploading your own leads, you can do that by yourself. We show you how to do it. It's a very simple process. But when the Google banner leads come in through the API, they got to be thrown into different campaigns. They got to be thrown into different pipelines. We're just throwing them in the dialer. So it's kind of the VA managing that in the background. They're not going to be dialing any of your leads or anything. That's completely different game. But yeah, when it comes to just putting them in the right campaign, making sure they're being followed up to via email and text, and just organizing the automation that's happening, that's the VA service that you're getting.
So maybe you could talk just a little bit more about the campaigns that you were talking about specifically. So obviously, the way you said it, there's different funnels and whatnot. Could maybe explain that a little bit more?
Yeah. So every time you're uploading leads into a system and you want the process to be automated, what we use in marketing world is a campaign. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what a campaign is it's just a series of events that you want your lead to go through over a period of time. So let's say that you want this new lead, instead of you having to text them, you're just saying, hey, this is a this is a life insurance lead, and it's an old lead. And then you put it in the box, and the box kind of messages that person via text, via email. We're going to put them in a pipeline just so you know kind of where they're at in the sales process. I can go into the weeds of it. But it's just, as soon as the leads come in, what can we do to automate the process of, one, organizing this lead in your system so you know where they are in the sales process, and two, how many like contact points they're getting, right?
Okay.
Or what they're getting every time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what are the different, like you mentioned, old leads. So you'll have a different campaign, I would imagine, for final expense as opposed to maybe like mortgage protection, or, and I'm not even sure if you like, could maybe you just speak a little bit to the campaigns that you do, that would just,
I get
I
you.
can't get this question out of my
I
mouth.
get it. I get it. To answer your question, we got everything.
Okay.
Almost everything except annuities is what we don't have. We have, man, we got cancer, we got health, just U65. What applies to you so I can tell you.
Yeah, well, mortgage protection, final expense. I'm not right now, but I definitely feel like Medicare is going to be a really natural addition to final expense.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We got final expense, we got mortgage protection, we got general life, just for general life insurance. And then Medicare, we have LIS, we got Medicare supplement, we got turning 65, we got them all. Okay. So
Okay. Yeah.
the only thing that I don't know, that we don't have is annuities.
Yeah.
For system. But it comes down to the way we work our system is comes down to tags. Okay. So that's where the way we organized it. And there's a tag for specific kind of lead. If you're planning on selling face to face or over the phone, if you're planning, if they're an old lead, or if there's a new lead that you just got, if it's a lead that's coming in real time. So it's a different process, right? Or it's a different way. We're going to
Totally.
put this person in a different
Yeah,
way.
absolutely.
For example, right, if it's a lead that's coming in real time, we want you to call that person 30 seconds after. So that would be the difference, right? We're adding
Mhm.
a live phone call to a real-time lead versus a fresh lead that's 3 or 4 days old, so.
Maybe you could explain, yeah, what is a fresh lead? Like, how do you, um, I guess, yeah, what's the difference between, oh, I'm going to call right now, and, oh, these have been in the system for a little bit. Like, how do you,
It's
yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's all based on when you got them. So, or sorry, when they've been generated. Okay,
Okay.
so if you know that they've been generated within 30 days, and every system or every person will categorize old and fresh leads differently. As it pertains to us, a fresh lead is 0 to 30 days old.
Okay.
So 5 hours ago or 29 days ago, for us, we consider that a fresh lead into our system. And the only difference with age and fresh into our system is that we're gonna email them for a longer period of time, and we are gonna text them for an also longer period of time, just because it makes sense.
Mhm.
Old leads, we wouldn't want to be texting them for 3 months or 2 months, just because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Not that we do for fresh leads. I think it's about three weeks of texting after. But yeah, that's the difference. And then age leads is 31 and over.
Okay.
Okay, and then that's at your discretion. If you want to upload 3 years old leads, it's at your discretion. So we don't recommend it. Hopefully they have opted in sometime or somehow, but yeah.
Okay. And so when you're talking about these, would these be like leads that I would get from other sources and not from, okay, because yeah, that was a little bit of a confusion was, so if I'm getting leads from you guys, I guess I would have assumed that they're all kind of just, the leads that I get are going to be the instant ones. Okay, so the other leads that I would put in there might be from an external source.
Yeah. So a
Okay.
lot of guys will have old leads that they bought in the past that they want to just recycle and retry. Some people have other lead vendors that they're working closely with. Some are
Okay.
already generating leads on the side. So it's anything that's coming from the outside into the system.
Okay, cool. It's good to know that your system, allows that as well. Because
Oh,
yeah. Okay, I'm trying to think.
my chair is low here. Hold on. I don't even know. There it is.
Okay, I'm trying to think if I have any more specific questions. Like I said, right now, I'm still kind of like just seeing what is even out there. And to be totally honest, the more that I do this, it's like I need to put together kind of a list of what is valuable for me at this, at my baby stages. Is there anything, I mean, yeah, is there anything else that anything else that you think I should know about your system, or I don't know, just anything else that you want other people to know? Because I'm hoping, I don't expect this to be a rock star YouTube channel, but I definitely know there's a lot of people interested in the better way of growing an agency. And I just am really trying to just shed light onto a lot of this type of stuff. So is there anything else like you want to highlight about your process or encouragement or anything?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned earlier kind of what differentiates us from other people, and I think we went into this train of thought. The second thing, and nobody has this, and I know for a
Yeah.
fact we spent tens of thousands of dollars on this, but Nova. Have you heard of Nova? I know we
Oh,
talk about it a lot, but have you heard of Nova?
I saw it on your page, and I'm really glad that you brought that up because that seems kind of like a big part of the whole thing. But yeah, please go ahead and educate me on it, would you?
Yeah, so what we found with our system over the years of trying hundreds of agents like coming on board, we found that a lot of people were getting busy and into doing other things. So they would get a response from a lead and would not respond on time, or maybe they'd respond 3 or 4 hours later,
Yep.
but then the person would just ghost them and not
Yeah.
answer them. So we thought about, okay, so we got to find a way so that people can answer quickly. So then what we did is we texted the agents every time someone answered. So they say, hey, you got a text message, you got a response to your outreach, go in there and finish the deal. We saw it move a little better. People come in an hour later, half an hour later, it was getting better. But then we're like, it's still not what we want. We want when someone answers yes or I'm interested, we want that conversation to be continued right away,
Yeah,
right?
I
So that's what
totally.
people expect.
Yes.
So we're like, okay, well, let's, and this was about a year ago when AI was starting to become a big thing. So we're like, let's build an appointment setter AI
Okay.
that will train based on the responses that we keep getting into the system and put that in place for agents. Okay, so it's super cool. I mean, I don't know if we have time here, but I can show you.
If you've got time, I've got time.
Yeah, I was on a call this morning. Um, and he just wanted to test it with me, how Nova works, and I'll show you.
Yeah.
It was even shocking me after a year of seeing it, how cool this stuff is.
And this is why, man, I really do feel like coronavirus is going to be, I mean, it's rough, but it's also going to kickstart a lot of stuff in industry to move forward. And this is the type of stuff where it's like, now is the time. And it's really exciting to see all of the new technologies and systems that have come place out of necessity. So it's exciting. It's really exciting. I think we're still kind of at the very beginning of it, especially in the insurance industry. People are still like very slow to adapt, but it's cool. There's some honestly freaky marketing stuff out there.
Yeah, it's getting scary, and that's also a big thing agents are concerned about is that, oh, they're going to lose this personal touch. But way we built it, and Josh knew that when he was building it, he said, I got to find a way to make it as human resembling as possible,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
So let me show you. All right, so let me show you. I'll share my screen here. I'll show. Um, Perfect. So I'll just fetch older message here. So this is one of our client there. Not sure where you plan on posting this. I don't know if you could probably blur out some info here on the
Okay.
right.
Yeah. I will definitely. Thank you for pointing that out. I'll for sure make sure that we're not.
Awesome. Yeah, no, it's okay. It's my phone number. If they're curious about Agent Autopilot, they can call me. So I'm not too worried. So yeah. So anyways, they put the tag on the lead, right? This is myself. And then they go, hi, Jamie, it's Brendan from Family First Life. You recently filled out a little form requesting info on the state regulated protection plan. So mortgage protection plans. We have your last name spelled as Roussel. Is that correct? Okay. So I said yes. And then probably a minute later, we didn't do it right away because we didn't want to make it look automized.
Mhm.
A minute later, it goes, great. My job is to get you the info you're eligible to receive. What you do is entirely up to you. And then it goes ahead and say, I'm going to be in your neighborhood. What times will work better, 8 a.m. or 2 p.m. Or 12 p.m. Central? So and then I answered 8 a.m. And then right away, you are confirmed. So that person, me, got an email saying I'm confirmed from this time. And it says you're good to go. We're set for Wednesday, the 2nd at 8 a.m.
Nice.
So the I was on the call with this person. This person was getting like a UPS delivery, and then 2 minutes later sat back down and he had an appointment booked on his calendar. And I said, I just wanted to show you uh, what's so freaking cool about this
Yeah.
process. So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Very cool. Yeah, interesting. So this, it kind of seems like what you guys, kind of your specific value added is really being able to attend to the instant leads. Because I totally, having not really necessarily experienced that, but just kind of having kind of an inherent feeling of like what people want, with something like that, because, you know, internet leads are not very, they don't convert very well, you know, or, you know, they're less intent, I should say. But I really honestly believe if you can get somebody that is in that mentality of right now of like, yeah, I need insurance, and you can just be like, okay, let's just continue this conversation right now. I mean, it just seems like that's an astronomically better approach than like, oh yeah, well, I know I needed it 30 minutes ago, but my Pop Tarts are about to come out, so I'm not
yeah.
interested.
Well, the big thing I tell guys too in the program is, you're paying for people to see your ad, and you're paying for people to also click through your ad. So I'm telling them, if you can't provide that service after 30 seconds, well, you just reminded them that they need insurance. So they're going to go and Google and find insurance elsewhere if
Yep.
you're not connecting with them as soon as they show interest to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the idea is, if you talk to me about insurance and I want to be available to you, right? So, and that helps the agent by making them money and helping the person to get their service delivered quickly as well. So,
Okay. Yeah, cool. Very, very interesting. I'm trying to think. I mean, I should probably have 100 million more questions to ask, but I'm still kind of starting this process. Here's one thing that some of the other programs have been offering, and I think if I have it down here correctly, you have a 14-day satisfaction guarantee. Is there any other like kind of guarantees or I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot as far as guarantees, but some of them are like, hey, we guarantee your agency will, you know, get $10,000 of commissions, or some of them are even like in 100,000 over the year. Do you guys kind of have, is there anything like that that would entice people to be like, all right, okay, these guys, this is the one I need to try?
yeah, yeah. Obviously, when you put dollars out there, people are always going to want to come to you because you're guaranteeing an income. It's very popular in the agency service. Okay, this kind of, I'm guaranteeing you 10,000, 15,000, because when you're paying someone agency service, so let's say 1,500, 2K a month, they're providing you with not only the leads, the follow-up system, they're providing you with an appointment almost, right?
Yeah.
So they've done that, and they bring the lead all the way up as close to that they do, like, personally, right?
Yep.
um when it comes to a software like this, right, there's all kinds of guys. There's guys that come in here and already produce so much that this system will help them to save time. Really, they're coming into a system that will simply save time, right?
Okay.
um so we can guarantee you it's going to save you 20 hours. So if you're worth $100 an hour, then I can guarantee you're going to save 20 grand. You know what I mean? That's how I see it.
No,
And
and that's, yeah, and I'm really glad actually I asked that question, because it definitely really does kind of clarify more of what you guys are offering. Like this is more of the software. This isn't necessarily the agency building full through and through. And that's really good to, yeah, just be able for me to understand, and hopefully other people to just kind of be like, okay, I know what I'm getting. So this is more of a software for one, well, it's also lead generation, but also really the software to really nurture those instant leads a little more quickly and automate the kind of the automation of the lead generation and or whatever.
yeah, no, I get what you mean exactly. So by saving you time of if you were to do the manual work of texting
Yep.
people, right? I call that the $5 an hour kind of work,
Yeah.
right?
And
So if I can save you from doing that, well, maybe you can step back from your business and say, okay, I know I need to learn Facebook for my agency. I know I need to uh, start hiring people. I know I need to, so things that you wouldn't be doing if you were doing that like I said, $5 an hour job.
And this is, and honestly, in this industry, I mean, I feel like that's about 85% of all of the tasks in this industry are $5 an hour tasks. And that's why I'm trying not to spend my time doing this. Cause it's like, this is insane. This is such a terrible use of time. So yeah, I'm glad. I just wanted to know specifically. So yeah, your deal is, no, we're going to save you time. Like we are. Yeah.
And not only that, I think a big thing you made me remember something I wanted to tell you is not only the time, but your mental energy as well, or your mental state just in general. Because like I said, I was never an agent. I never dialed as an agent, but I could just imagine starting in this business, calling my first 50 leads that have been slapped on my desk and getting 50 no's.
It's
Man,
fun.
so I don't know how you humanly possible want to continue after spending so much time just texting, emailing, calling, you know, you got the phone, you got the headset, you're just like sweating and you're dialing. And I'm exaggerating when I'm saying this.
You're not really. No, you're not.
And then so you get your first 50 no's and you're like, okay, well, I know I'm supposed to get no's. I'm supposed, and then they get that first yes.
Yep.
And okay, I got my first yes, but I got to do this whole process again.
Yep.
So being able to just throw in 50 leads into a system that will automatically follow up with them 6 times for you will, when you get those no's, it doesn't bother you as much because you know next week you're throwing another 50 and they're going to be contacted in 5 minutes, right?
Yeah. And these are really the types of things that I really want to be able to, as far as an agency, have ready to go for agents once I am eventually ready to start recruiting, is like that in particular, like starting out, like, I don't know if you know the numbers, but it's 8% of people last in this industry more than a couple of years. And I've done a lot of stuff, man. And like, there are crappy jobs. Insurance, this is not an amazing job, but dude, I've worked in sewers, I've done roofing, I've painted houses. This is a dream. Sitting at home and talking on the phone is a dream. But when you don't have the resources available and you don't have the systems and it's just like, oh man. And you know, people get into this because you can make good money with commissions, but then you sit there and you're realizing that you're doing work that any 12-year-old could do with no training. And you're like, how am I a business person? How am I an entrepreneur? Like, I'm sitting here doing stuff that I felt overqualified when I was 16 years old to do. And it's tough. It's really tough because you're like, it's like, okay, I can make money doing this, but is this what I want to be spending my life doing? And for me, it's no. And I'm really certain. I mean, you've never even done it and you know exactly how it is. Like, it's not great. Like, I'm not going to ever lie to people about it. Like, sitting on the phone and calling a bunch of people that don't really want to be called sucks. I want to call people that want help. Like, that's what I want to get. And I want to be able to provide that for other people. And so like, there's a tremendous amount of value in something like this. And gosh, I wish, yeah, man, there needs to be, because the amount that you're paying too, like, what is it, $600 a month for leads? Like, that's nothing compared to what other people are paying. Yeah.
I had a guy this morning, he spends north of $1,000 on those instant leads a week. And when he saw this, he's like, oh my God, I'm spending $1,000 and now I'm going to get the same amount for the software. And we're like, this just tells you again, the lead business, right?
Well, and that was the thing when I looked at it, because when I got back into it and I wasn't captive, it was like, okay, no, it's all about leads. And I was looking at these things and just inherently, like, I look at these things, I was like, okay, for these instant internet leads, they're selling them for $10. So they're probably generating them for about $1 or $2. And I was like, that's a lot of money on the table that I'm just leaving out. And also it's like, okay, they're selling these for 10 and these other ones for 85. So these must not be that difficult to, like, I mean, they're not the mailers that you get 1 out of every 100 back. So I was like, okay, like, there's got to be a better way to do this. Yeah, interesting, man. Super interesting. Do you have any kind of like anything else? I think I've picked your brain as much as I can think about it. Is
no, I got nothing to add. I pretty much showed you what we're doing here, so I'm happy that I was able to kind of sum it up in a official interview. I realized you were recording this and then throwing this on a platform until later. I said, man, I felt like I was just having a conversation with you. So it was really nice, and I think it was fun to do.
Dude, and I really appreciate, I mean, that's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to gather some information, and hopefully, I know that I, it was really surprising how much outreach that I got just posting those things on Facebook. Lots of people were willing to help. Lots of people had systems. Lots of people were like, oh, I want to, follow this too, because this industry, I mean, I really do think we're kind of cresting this change where people know there's a better way of doing it, but there's still not a lot of resources out there. So I'm obviously trying to figure it out for myself, but also just hopefully be able to put a video out like this where people can go, oh, this is exactly what I'm getting with Agent Autopilot. Like, perfect. I know specifically, like, I'm ready to go. So yeah, I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. And I don't know if you want to, but like, if you could, I mean, if you want to, like, your phone number or email, if other people want to get a hold of you.
Yeah. Yeah. So agentautopilot.com is the place to go. That's for, you're going to see there's a link that links over to the ads program if you're interested in the Facebook ads course. We can also email in at vip@agentautopilot.com. Okay. But you can hit a chat bar if you have any specific question. Just go on the website, and at the bottom we have like a little chat support button that you can just chat in and ask us a question, and we'll be able to help you.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, I appreciate all the information. I've got quite a few other research that I want to do to just kind of see what's out there and compare, but I definitely will be putting this on YouTube and just chatting about it and letting people know what the options are. And hopefully, I mean, you guys, you've got your sector figured out, like you've got your niche. And I think, yeah, man, this industry, I really do feel like just the more we can get the digital advertising, the people that have that figured out, like those are the ones, the more conversations we can have like this, the more ads that are out there. Like, I think this industry is really on the verge of on just becoming way easier, way more comfortable. Like,
we're in a transition period, I think. So
dude, without a question. Okay, man. Well, I think that's all I've got. And I super, super appreciate your time.
Thank you, Seth. Thank you.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Have a good one. And we will probably talk in the future if you're available.
Awesome. Perfect.
Right on, man. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.